So by doing saying the soul awakening is that we experience those things before our soul is really truly awakened, realize we're here to learn and grow. We act on our ego with brain using our whatever we learned from our parents, from school, from society to protect us. But once our soul's true self started to realize, aha, I'm here for a game. I'm here to learn and grow within a limited time, then we started to be more conscious and aware what exactly happened. Because before the soul awakening, there's certain things happen for me again and again, getting stronger and stronger, stronger, because I didn't learn the lesson, because my soul was sleeping. But now I can learn things faster, easier, effortlessly. When my soul is awakened, I can learn faster.
Hello, fellow traveler. This is Kevin Pennell, and welcome to episode 151 of Toward A Bette Life. Thank you so much, dear listener, for tuning into the episodes. In today's world, there truly is a need to seek balance, harmony, compassion, and kindness on many, many levels, personally, culturally, spiritually, to name some. But as you know, it all begins with each one of us as an individual. And that's what I like to share on this podcast from around the world, seeking others of the same spirit, heart, and mind. And this is a platform, it's like a school, a venue to begin and continue that journey to wholeness and harmony, not only for ourselves, but for the generations yet to come. I also offer you the opportunity to share your own prose, music, poetry, or storytelling on the program. And don't forget, please subscribe to the show if you haven't done so already through your favorite podcast platform. And keep following for weekly magical insights into earth-based spirituality and self-development and self-care. Also, remember to support the program by leaving a review on Apple, Spotify podcast, whatever platform you use to listen to your podcast. It only takes a minute to leave a review, and it means so much to the algorithms, and it just helps to promote the program. Don't forget to visit my website, too, towardabetterlife.com. You can contact me there to learn more about a free discovery call to help you on your own journey, along with prior episodes, learning opportunities, services that I offer outside the podcast, plus a few accessories to assist you on your own journey, and even some information there about coming events coming up in South Carolina, North Carolina. So just keep it in mind. Contact me through my website. Send me an email to kevin@towardabetterlife.com. No, I am welcoming Joanna Zhang. Joanna is from Australia. She's an award-winning founder of the Operations Genius and creator of the world's first Fractional VA Service, a revolutionary approach to operational support that gives entrepreneurs the flexibility, accountability, and expertise that they need. So, she's a sought-after global speaker, and Joanna brings more than strategies. She infuses her talks with soul-aligned wisdom, sharing divine messages that inspire founders to lead from their hearts. Now, that's what leads us into and led us together to talk. Her unique perspective comes from her own journey of soul awakening and soul ascension, guided by her own spiritual mentor, which deepened her commitment to uplifting others toward personal transformation. Her story resonates with Toward a Better Life as a reminder that a better life begins with inner alignment and ripples out to touch family, community, and the world ultimately. Please welcome Joanna Zhang to Toward a Better Life as we explore soul awakening and personal transformation. On today's episode, I'd like to welcome Joanna Zhang to the program. Joanna, nice to have you on Toward A Bette Life. Tell us where you are and how are you today?
Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm in Australia, Sydney, and I'm just in the lovely sunny morning and having this conversation with you. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're a little bit different seasons. We're about 6 months apart from each other. So you're coming into you're almost coming into summertime there. You're in the high
Yeah,
spring, I would think. Yeah. Yeah.
that's right.
So so tell us a little bit about Joanna, if you could. Tell us about your journey and we'll kind of go from there.
Oh, yeah, sure. Um, Interestingly, like we all have a different story in the world, and everyone probably start from different places. For me, I'm a doer and action taker, so which caused me in the business field for over last 20 years. Of course, the first 10 years I was in the professional field as a financial planner, then later on become a business owner operating my own business. So previously, my life is all around in the reality realm, in the material realm to achieve something. But 4 years ago, I had a major transformation. I had a soul awakening event where I found why I'm here for, what I was made of, kind of like how I was created, what is my soul mission, soul power, who is my source, and I can actually connect with them every single moment to follow the guidance. So that change, I'm still doing the same thing from the outer. However, the major changes start from inner alignment. So this breakthrough has affected all aspects of my life and causing me and made me start to think I really want to share the divine messages out. And that's why I started to be on the podcast. And now I'm with you, Kevin.
Yeah, it's unique when you find that opportunity to you begin to live authentically and you begin to find yourself getting in alignment with what is it I'm supposed to do. I've had a few guests on of late, and we talk about hypnotherapy, for an example. And one of the things that I get into sometimes with folks because they want to know what is my purpose? Why am I here? Those are two big questions.
Mhm.
They're almost cliche to some point because we've heard them throughout our lives. But the question is, do you really know? Do you really know
Yeah.
who you are? Do you really know what your purpose is in your life? So I'll even
Mm.
you have a wonderful website, and there's a lot of really cool business information in there. And but the thing that I want to come at is how does business and spirituality? I'll put that out there. How do you think it aligned with each other?
To be honest with you, when I started business, I didn't click them at all because,
Mm.
as mentioned, I was operating from my head and I using my experience and knowledge to really operate that way. And I was trying so hard to take a lot of actions, learned a lot of strategies from different coaches, but somehow something within me it just didn't break through and then didn't achieve the state I would like to achieve for. Um, so since the soul awakening, I started to look inside. I found that there's a lot of life lessons I need to learn. I think there are many of them, but probably I mentioned a few.
Okay.
A major change. I used to do business for transactional, right? So we are in the business field where many business owners may feel like, we're doing business, we're here for money. A lot of people think that. So I used to do business on a transactional phase, which means very actional, logical. And then I think about this deal, looking at a person that's dollar sign, to be honest with you. But at that time I was trying so hard, but things doesn't come through. And
Hmm.
then when I started to had a soul awakening, I actually asked my spiritual mentor why I learned so much. I didn't break through. And she said, Joanna, you don't need more strategies. There's something spiritual lesson you need to learn. She actually asked me a question, why do you do your business? And
Hmm.
I, first of all, from a surface level, I just say, oh, it's a good business model, like, yeah. So, and she said, think again. Why do you do your business? I started to think a little bit deeper and I said, I can help people, right? I can help a lot of different people. And she said, think again, think deeper. Why exactly do you do business? And at that time, I stop to use my head, basically. And I just feel it and the one word split out of my mouth. And I said, it's because of unconditional love. And suddenly my tears just dropped. And she said, that's it. You know the answer. That made me so surprised because our soul actually know the answer, but a lot of time we're operating from here. That event, whenever I talk about it, it still make me very touching because I know what I'm here for now, and I know why I am here. Whatever we do in this world is because we're coming from there. So since then, I started to adjust my intention. I started to look at every single soul as individual being. I'm looking at them to wholeheartedly care for them. Look for the solution to help them. Surprises, magic just happened because I don't expect anything anymore. When I talk to them, I just care for them. And one divine timing intention means intention. And business just come. I didn't even expect anything. So now I'm in a state of effortlessly being myself, sharing the love and light, and things, everything else just naturally evolve. I think that's the major transformation I experienced in my spiritual realm and causing the change and manifestation on my material or physical realm. Let's put it this way. So we used to think body, body, mind is spiritual. I think this way, right? Like we always talk about these three things finding together. But my spiritual mentor reminded me that actually it should be the other way around.
Mm.
Spiritual first, and then mindset, emotion, and then physical. Since then, I changed the priority too. I started to, whatever happened around me, I used to hate challenges, but now I realize whatever is in front of me is happening for me, not happening to me. I started to learn behind every single event what exactly the lesson I'm learning. I try to find the things on the spiritual realm first. And then find something hidden behind my emotions. And then things just naturally magically happen on my physical realm. That's another thing has changed. A last one. Probably I share this way. I used to be people pleasing. I care
Mm.
about others, but forgot the most important person is me. Because my priority is like I have a whole cup of water. I give everything to everybody else, but at the end of the day, I'm so drained, so frustrated, so tired. I just couldn't. I needed a lot of time to recharge. And I didn't know why, but now I know because my priority wasn't right. I got to look at filling my own cup first, like my spiritual mentor mentioned. When you have a overflow, it's just naturally happily flow to others. And now I have endless energy. I can do this again and again, and with the creativity, like same as usual. For example, on the podcast, I'm in the different shows. But to be honest, we're sharing probably similar things again and again and again. However, it is act of art because every single time our house is different, our areas of the focus is different, our audience are different, and every single time when we share something, it is creation of art. So I'm just being myself and sharing this ripple effect, as you mentioned, by being ourselves, and not because I truly finally realized the value I'm here, but existing is already a value. I don't need to prove anymore.
All I got to say is I'm really glad I have a full size legal pad here because I've just been writing like crazy. And I have to say, I hope it's okay, Joanna, but I have to say to our audience that I was looking over our stuff and I was trying to figure out, geez, is this really going to work? But listening to your story and listening to how you've completely changed your whole outlook on stuff, and it's no longer thinking from your head, no longer,
Mhm.
but thinking from your heart more. And that's significant. That's an important piece. And if we can learn that alone, that's saying an awful lot. But you began your journey by looking within, and that's kind of a scary place for people, isn't it?
Wow, so scary. I actually, even though after my soul awakening, I had a period of phenomenon and escape, because that's so painful, that's so ugly, and I feel like yeah, it's so dark because I didn't know myself enough. I
Hmm.
couldn't really face myself. Let's talk about judgment. A lot
Okay.
of time when we have a judgment on others, there must be something we haven't accepted for ourselves. I had a lot of judgment before, because I feel like my ego is trying to protect me and then give me a lot of prior judgments and oh, this is like this is like this is like this, right and wrong, whatever it is, because there's a lot of things within me I haven't really truly faced and accepted. So since I started to look within, and really, I was writing and then escape and this and that. But through those life lessons I've learned, and then following the guidance of my spiritual mentor, I started to dive deeper, really look into it. It is very painful. However, I don't know whether we have saying in English or we have that in Chinese. It says short intensive pain is better than a long calm pain. And like if you like it's like a pot, to boil something, you use warm water to boil slowly. You,
Hmm.
you maybe just get cooked right quickly.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation, of course. But the meaning of that is it is intensive, it is very painful. However, once we look at it, face it, and then find a solution, change it, it's such relief. Such relief. I can literally feel my physical realm is getting lighter and lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's reflecting the spiritual realm. We're getting lighter and lighter to really fly with freedom. Yeah, so that's a true sensation. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And you've used the term a couple of times. In your words, what is a soul awakening?
Hmm. First of all, I think there's a few things that we got to be on the same page, that we got to believe we are spiritual being, right? So if
Hmm.
we believe we have a soul,
Right?
right, then our body is like a container, but the soul is actually outside of that container. It's not like inside, it's outer, it's bigger, so are bigger as energy. And we're experiencing this world on this physical realm. And because when we actually come to this world, we forgot about everything. It's like we started a game, right? Where you erase the previous. We carry some probably experience and characters or talents or skills, yeah, or karma as
Yep.
well.
Hmm.
So all the things we carry forward, and as a player, like in the game, and then we forgot about what happened before, and let's just focus on this life. However, we will realize there's a lot of things repeatedly happen, like a pattern. It is actually reflecting everything happened before. Because the reason we're here, I'm not just talking because I follow divine guidance and I follow my spiritual mentor actually told me about that from a source, is Earth is like a school. We
Hmm.
come back here because we didn't do certain assignment correctly. So we come back again to learn, to grow. And that's the main purpose. So by doing saying the soul awakening is that we experience those things before our soul is really truly awakened, realize we're here to really to learn and grow. We act on our ego with brain using our whatever we learned from our parents, from school, from society to protect us. But once our soul's true self started to realize, aha, I'm here for a game. I'm here to learn and grow within a limited time, then we started to be more conscious and aware what exactly happened. Because before the soul awakening, there's certain things happen for me again and again, and getting stronger and stronger, stronger because I didn't learn the lesson because my
Hmm.
soul was sleeping. But now I can learn things faster, easier, effortlessly. When my soul is awakened, I can learn faster. So in my feeling, is like we started to learn and grow in a different dimension, and then that actually is causing us to from this realm and into this realm, so from up to down like this. Hmm.
So, do you think the soul awakening is really when you described a moment ago, you're talking about how things kept coming to you and things weren't working as you kind of wished them to, and now they just seem to open up for you
Yes,
because your
yes.
soul is awakened. So those little nudges that you got all along the way just kind of kept saying, Joanna, 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 you're not listening. Yeah,
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 that's
it's
right.
me. And do you suppose that was your soul in a way, just kind of nudging you along, or your higher self, whatever term you want to give it? But do you suppose there was a little bit of nudging going on because there, your higher self knew that there was a bigger life ahead of you?
Well, 100%. I didn't know that. But somehow, while I was young, I always felt there's mystery energy around me is protecting me. I always very curious, who are they, you know?
Uh-huh.
And the reason why I did soul awakening is because at the time I wasn't really spiritually awakened like this, right?
Sure.
And I didn't pick some. I just felt something mystery over there, but I don't know what it is. And I'm doing my business. I'm trying so hard, but it didn't go to the stage. I just want to have a clarity whether I'm on the right track. And another thing is I was experiencing some, a relationship problem. Like I
Okay.
got
Yeah.
divorced during that process. So there's multiple things happening in my life. I just wanted to get clarity and then get clear what exactly is that. But that event, as I mentioned, because you said a lot of people asking what I'm here for, what is my purpose, right? Why, what I'm doing here. So
Yeah.
I got all the answers at the event. I understand who are they now? Who is protecting me? And actually, the nudging thing is always them to remind us from a different dimension because they can see different dimension. They know what is better for us. And better, for example, again, the better, as you mentioned, when people listen to this word, maybe have all different definitions. However, from their definition, better means happier. They just
Mhm.
want us to be happy. That's it. Happy. Imagine I come across in the business world, a lot of people earn a lot of money, do a great business in a good social status. A lot of them are not happy.
Mhm.
That's their lesson too, right? So,
Mhm.
so do you think that's a better life? And it depends everyone's definition. But anyway, where I was like, I was going too far. So I get to know who they are, and they were always there to nudging, giving me the lessons. But before my soul awakening, I couldn't realize it. I just keep repeating the same pattern, getting worse and worse.
So who's the they? Who was the they?
Okay, we
I'm
can
pretty good.
call it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You go curious. So we can call it a universe, we can call it God, or we can call it source.
Okay.
Basically, it's a graduated soul. They have ability to actually to create our soul, give us a mission and power and purpose, and then to grow in this world. And when they actually created us, they give this world as a gift. But
Mm.
a lot of us, we didn't realize what kind of gift. We didn't realize we're a gift and what kind of gift, how to become the gift. Remember we are the gift. So that's the whole process of connecting with them and to understand what we're here for.
Okay, so do you think would you say that them could also be in the guise of spirit guides, spirit helpers? Um,
They are even okay, put this way, I think they are a team. They are like
mhm.
there's no individual act because same as this word, whatever as above so below. I think what we're experiencing here is just little tiny thing reflecting over there. And from what I understood and learned is that our soul has been created by the source. The source is graduated soul. Some people call God, use this word, or there are different sources to graduate it, and then they created our soul. And then they have a team of spiritual guides around us to protect, and they have a different functions as well.
Okay.
So, but I get to connect with my source, like my soul parents, soul father, soul mother, not the real physical form. I connect with them because they created me. They know me so well.
Hmm.
And then they know what is better for me and will make me happy. So I connect with that. We call it communicate with the source and date with the source as well from time
Okay.
to time.
Okay. Do you think that we've lived before? Do you believe in reincarnation?
Oh, of course,
Okay.
100%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That whenever we come back to the earth again and again and again, we
Yep.
carry all those previous things as a package with us. We just forgot about it.
Hmm.
And we come back, the main reason is to learn the lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, you've used a term that I've been using for many, many years, and that is that life is a
Yeah,
school. Because it
beautiful.
really is. We're here to learn lessons. We're here to learn how to be a better soul and a better spirit. We're here to learn how to be human beings, and not,
Mm,
I'll use the term, and not sheeple. Sheeple are just the ones that are just kind of led around by whatever whim and whatever way. And the people that you say, like you're mentioning, the people that are very, very, very rich, but they're not happy. They're not, they're
mm,
not pleased. They're not content. They just have the sense that the only way that they can satisfy themselves is make more and get more.
mm.
That's not the answer. The answer is to go within and have your soul awakened. I love the term. And
Yeah.
it's a unique term, and I can see it. I can certainly see it. You've mentioned something, and I don't want to bring up something that's necessarily difficult or anything like that, but you've mentioned a couple of times that about there was something. Would you mind sharing what the incident was that kind of brought you around to the soul awakening?
Oh yeah. As mentioned, there was three reasons, right? And one is while I was young, I always felt some energies around me, like to helping me, protecting me. But I don't know who they are. I was curious, and a frustration I had was my business. I was trying so hard. I look very successful outer, but inner, I don't have any fulfillment because I wasn't
Okay.
happy. So, but then I started to doubt whether I'm on the same track, I'm the right track, like whether I'm on the journey that I was supposed to be. I always feel that I'm here for something, but I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Did you
And
did
then
you
another,
did you get that
yes.
through like through a time of meditation?
Oh, I can't do meditation, to be honest with you. I fall asleep every time I do meditation.
Well,
That kind
let's
of
say
person that,
you've gone into some deeper thought, I suppose, because you're talking about the soul awakening and how you found yourself just going deeper and deeper into these spaces until you found that area. And so, to me, meditation, I've mentioned a lot of times that meditation is not necessarily the monk sitting on top of the mountaintop and saying
yeah.
Om over and over and over. Meditation can be done in 5 minutes. Is what it's all about our focus, and we focus on a given subject. And it sounds to me like you
Mhm.
were kind of meditating while awake. You were meditating on what
I
is it that I
tried
really
it.
want to do? Yeah.
Because I was that kind of person. I used to pick the flowers but don't smell it. And some people suggest me, you need to slow down, you need to calm yourself and meditate. And whenever I do that, I fall asleep because I was very sleepy with my soul at the time. I didn't awake, right? And then well, you mentioned it now, but I understand that meditation is so helpful for us to calm, stop here, and go
Mm,
to here. And that's how we connect with the higher realm, the higher wisdom. Let's call it higher wisdom, whomever you want to call it,
yeah.
higher wisdom. So because the soul awakening event, I get to know why I'm here, what I'm here, and what I'm here for, and also learn how to communicate with source. I literally don't need to have to necessarily go through the meditation phase. I can connect, go to this space, and to communicate, follow the guidance. Yeah. Oh, why was the topic you were asking? Why did a solo weekend? Did another thing is I had a relationship breakdown, and then
Mm,
I was just so confused. What shall I do? And then yeah, so yeah, all those things come. I find many of our still brothers or sisters before they have a literally soul awakening, many things happen in their life dramatically. It's
mm.
more like I wisdom wake up, but they don't wake up. I think just piling up until a certain time to wake up like that. Many of them experience that, especially before the event. But
Okay.
some people are self-awakened because if you're aware what's happening with you, they just self-awaken in a way that you're probably already aware a lot of things. For me, the soul awakening is like before my world is like dark and I'm like headless flies. I'm trying here, trying there. I don't know the directions. After soul awakening, it's like a crack opening on the sky. Light started coming through, and I can find a way out. That's how I explain it for me the difference. But gradually awakening is not just one word, it's a journey. It's not even just one action, it's a journey. We
Hmm.
always say, people say, I'm awakened. I wouldn't even say I'm 100% awakened because there's still some puzzle pieces of myself I haven't really fully reclaimed to find out as yet. So it is a journey, I have to say.
It is a journey, and it's not about
Mm.
the end. It is about the journey itself that is so
Yes,
rewarding. And
yes,
a lot of times we get into these conversations and a lot of cliches fly around, and there must be a reason for it because
mm,
they're so true. And I think it's special in that you don't need what I'm hearing is you don't need that formal atmosphere to communicate with the higher self or the helpers, whatever term you want to use, the source. And that's important for, I believe, for people to understand is we don't have to have that formal thing. You do it however you want. With me, I go out and walk in the woods and I listen to the birds and I
yeah,
listen to the creatures around and occasionally one might really catch my eye. And the reason is because that one actually, the way I believe it, is actually trying to communicate with me. People will say,
yeah,
why is it that, what's the message that this crow has for me? And I say, well, did you ask? And they say, you have this big question mark on their head. They say, how do you do that? Well, well, just
Yeah.
think it, and what do you think? What do you want me for? And the other piece is, and you've already done that, Joanna, is and you wait for the answer. The answer is there. Sometimes it doesn't
Yeah.
come as quickly as we think it should, but it will come.
That's so true. And about the patience, I've learned a lesson as well. I used to think the patience is like passively waiting. But I realized in my previous life, even previous lifetime and this life, I had a lot of regression. Is sometimes I don't try my hardest. I'm a bit passive to wait. But I realized that patience means I try my best, but at the meantime, let things happen naturally. So that's
Hmm.
something I've changed by myself as well. Because same as my business, that's my spiritual lesson too. I used to be on my business because my business model is kind of not that heavily cost. So for me, I wasn't really trying my whole hardest to, in a way, on the right track to, you know. So I've learned to be patient these days. Now I'm trying my best to every single segment. I'm trying my best. But if things happen, it's happen. If not happen, I know it's not divine timing yet. I started to let go of the expectation. And that reduced a lot of burnout and frustrations, expectations. So I'm in a better state. I would say better life is based on a better state. And in the
Mhm.
better state, everything is creating the ripple effect around me because I have better energy to do the things more productively. I have more creativity to continue to contribute back to this world. I have better relationship with everyone around me because I started to love care myself. And I started to really wholeheartedly have an intention to have a capacity to give back. Before I was even couldn't look after myself. So
Hmm.
everything around me, that's what we call a ripple effect when we have this better state to have a better life. Mm.
And there's another one that you've used a few times, and I like it too, and that is allow stuff to naturally evolve.
Mm.
We don't want to force things, and that's part of our personality when you think about it. That I
Yeah.
if the door isn't working, I just need to push harder. Well, maybe you're not supposed to go through that door. Maybe it's the one next to you. And then the other piece is that I'm hearing from you is being yourself and not trying to be someone else.
Mm.
We're surrounded by, and there are good points to AI. I get it, and it makes sense. The technology is good, but there's a point where you draw the line and you say, no, it's time to go within. It's time to listen, and it's time to be aware of everything around me. And I truly believe that even though we're thousands of miles apart, I pick up your
Mm.
energy and I feel your energy. And I understand where you're coming from just by listening to your words. And it makes perfect sense to me. You know, you
Mm.
mentioned about, how ego can have its effect on us in certain ways. But, ego really does take care of the physical. I like to say that ego is the thing that keeps us from walking in front of a freight train. That's its job.
For protection, right? Logical
Yeah.
part, yeah.
Yeah. We need to
Mm.
honor it. We need to honor it because it's taking care of our
Yes.
body, but we don't need
Yeah.
to allow it to run our lives. And it goes back to the thing about don't think from your head, don't work so much from your head, work from your heart more. Um,
Mm.
did you, there was a study that was done 30 years ago, probably maybe even more than that. But they did a study and they found out that they set up electrodes on somebody's head for brain waves, but they also set up the same electrodes on somebody's heart. And they asked a
Mm.
series of questions and they asked logical questions. And of course, the brain's just going off on it. They'd ask mathematical questions. And of course, the brain waves are just jumping all over the place. Then they started asking deeper emotional questions. The brain waves are still there. They haven't died. But the thing that really acted up was the heart.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
who says the heart doesn't think? Be- because it can. It's what we do, and we just need to learn, I suppose, don't we, to speak more and work more from our heart, and that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a way actually I used to even practice on it is that a lot of time when I started to in a state wanted to figure out something or follow the guide, even literally I learned from a spiritual man, shoo, here. Stop, like stop here. And gradually you can feel even the answer, like many of our, I believe you have some supernatural ability too. Everyone's different. Someone is strong on vision, they could see pictures. Someone good at hearing, someone is knowing and sensing, smelling, all different sensations. So I could feel answer is started to coming about this area. I can feel it's not here. It's not here. So literally we could feel it. Where's the location the answer is from? Yeah.
Yeah. You don't mind my asking, where's your spiritual foundation? Is it Buddhist? Is it what is it, would you say, if you had an
I
identification?
don't have any religions, but somehow I don't against anything. I just feel there's something similarity. And interestingly, after the soul awakening for our spiritual mentor, we found actually we believe the concept behind all the religions are the same.
Mm-hmm.
It is love,
Mm-hmm.
unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I really, people ask me, I said, what is your, what, and then we say, is a factor path of love. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a name. We
Well,
don't have a name. Yeah, we were not religion or something. Yeah, we just believe there's truth.
yeah, yeah,
Everything is from unconditional love.
yeah.
Mm.
And there's a term out there. It has to do with omnism, and omnism talks about the central truths that are found throughout cultures and throughout religions, and that there are certain ones that are just always there. And love is one, giving is another, compassion is another, and that it is what it is. I mean, even
Yeah,
with Druidry, we talk about that we have no dogma, and to me, having no dogma is the beginning of a free life when you think about it,
yeah,
because I'm not set up by certain ways and certain rules. I don't do things that are going to harm myself or others. Don't misunderstand that. But if it's has a foundation in love and compassion, sharing, caring, giving, what's the difference? Call it. And I had a spiritualist years ago tell me, he says, I don't care what you call it. You can call it bubblegum wrappers for all I care. But
yeah.
but you need to
That's
find
so
what
true.
works for you, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's so
Uh,
true. Yeah.
yeah.
We actually have a lot of spiritual so brothers or sisters, they had different religions before, like either Christian or Buddhism, and they realized there's something they couldn't 100% follow, and they had a question, and then that's why they started this soul awakenings journey, and they realized behind all the concepts are the same. Yeah, same
Yeah.
truth. So we're now all following this truth.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are there a lot of people in the business world that are starting to move this direction? I mean, you're where you are, you're in business, and you, like I said, you have a really good business that you operate and a really good website. But are people becoming more aware of this, do you think, in their life? Business
I have to
business
say, it
community.
started to become a emerging field, because as a spiritual being with a human realm, like on this world, business owners are souls too. They're just doing different things.
Hmm.
Probably like myself, we started from physical realm a lot, not connect to the divine. But gradually, everyone has even journey. They will realize we're all coming from there. So
Hmm.
everyone has their own time and rhythm to do it. But to be honest with you, um, when I connect with someone on the show, spiritual is the foundation.
Hmm.
If we don't have a spiritual in the alignment or synergy, we
Hmm.
couldn't really, we could purely just talk about material money and this and that. I couldn't really communicate. But so I have to say, I've been booked about over 20 podcasts now. Every single one has the conscious to, even not fully awakened, they have the sense. They feel something is there. And I would hope that, and that's the main reason actually I wanted to put myself out here to share the divine messages, to really send this message out and plant the seeds and helping, well, no matter who is listening to it, if you feel something, that probably some higher wisdom is calling you. So
Yeah.
that's the main reason. I could see there more and more. And also for the business world, the conscious leadership is the main thing I'm focusing on as well, as part of my area to share and contribute, because my personal growth through the business I improved my leadership. So there's
Okay.
another topic. So there's all different things even within the business, including wealth. Wealth is energy, everything like that. So it's actually reflecting everything in the business. But I understand where you're coming from. I believe that I think we are like a two extreme. Probably you start very spiritual and then tap a little bit into the material. I started from material and now connecting with the spiritual. But at the end of the day, I believe everything is a balancing act. It's
Mm.
not too extreme. We got to. I'm even how to say. I'm still learn to be grounded. To be honest, I look very business, but I'm not so grounded.
Mm.
I now start to learn my life lessons to take certain responsibility for myself, to really try my hardest so without any regret. These are all spiritual lessons, to be honest, from my past life carrying forward until now. And I'm learning everything to really manage my finance. All these things is spiritual related. It looks like in the material, but it's reason behind it on spiritual realm.
I almost have to laugh, Joanna, because you see me as someone who started out spiritual and ended up. If you only knew me, oh no, no, I could tell you
All
stories that'll take
right.
us off a lot of podcasts.
All right.
But
Oh,
we look at a lot of these things and we start off there, and I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I'm totally spiritual. Well, that's not true either, because we have to have both. We have to have physical in order to experience this life. But
yeah,
where's the influence? Is the influence from the ego, or is the influence more from my soul and my spirit? And
yeah,
there needs to be that balance, and that's something that you are doing, that you're learning how to do even more. But I see also there's a couple of statements here before we ever started recording about personal healing and self-discovery, that they become a foundation for building a better life, do they not?
oh yeah, certainly, certainly. Well, I think for the healing, there's another thing I want to share is I used to hear this word, but I didn't really understand what does it mean heal? How to do it? Actually, at the time I experienced something in my relationship, and I had a victim mindset. And then, so my spiritual mentor reminded me, so I do need a healing. I said, how? And she just gave me one simple word, very simple.
Mm.
Accept. As it is, a lot
Accept.
of time accept, yeah,
uh,
because a lot of time the healing doesn't really happen because we reject what has ever happened to us. We don't want to face it, we don't want to look at it, we escape from it, we numb from it. Wow, but that simple truth, I started to accept whatever happened to me, and not to choose to be a victim. It's actually at the end is our own decision. If I decide to be a victim, I will be always be victim mindset. I feel like I'm hurt. But if I decide I'm not a victim, I'm here to learn something, just learn from the experience. Everyone make mistakes. I was perfectionist before, but I now know I need to accept whatever has happened to me, even myself. I made a mistake. I accept. I accept my brightness, my darkness. I accept whole aspect of myself.
hmm
My healing literally started from acceptance.
And you've mentioned about your mentor, and you've mentioned about some others, and that's going to lead us into something else that's very important, and that is creating systems of support. And that's creating your team. That's creating people around you that you can trust, that you can go to, and that are there to help you. It's like building a community for wellness. And it's not just, I'm going to pick you, and you to make me better. And I don't want to hear from any of you, but I want you to help me. That's not community. Community is where everybody gets together and everybody helps and everybody is there. And we have
Mm-hmm.
our best intentions there to create something and to create a beautiful life. And sometimes it's a case where I'm the student, sometimes I'm the teacher. And does it matter if really knowing? Not at the moment. Just kind of using the terminology, no expectations, just go with the flow and see what happens.
Yeah, so true. By talking about a system, it sounds very business-ish. But in saying that, let's forget about the business. Yeah, I look like a businesswoman, or I look in the business field. But the main thing is It's like a balancing act. We feel it, we sense it, but at the same time, we got to have some logical behind it, right? When we decided to do something. So the system is more like a logical side, to structure it. But before that, I don't want to give an example in my business, but actually I wanted to give example from what you mentioned about my spiritual mentor, the community around it. She is actually literally integrity life example because she started this journey about 8 years ago. Start from one student, and now she has many students around the world, and the key group is growing and growing and growing. For example, we had the retreat since no, last year. The year before, we went to Thailand. There was 8 people. Last year, we went to Greece. It started be 10, 12 people. And this year, we went to Egypt, and it's about 18 people. So
Hmm.
the group is growing, evolving. She actually mentioned to us one thing. One thing I've learned, majority is leadership. She said that leadership, the essence of leadership, is actually help everyone become the best version of themselves.
Hmm.
So that actually changed my aspect. I used to be a title leader, I'm the founder, you got to listen to me. And then gradually into a serving, I provide service, support the team members, but my boundary got stepped. But now I'm learning this world and then start to become a spiritual mentor, which is balancing the compassion and the boundary once I love myself more and more. So that's one thing I learned really from her. I can see people around her is naturally evolving. It's no
Mm-hmm.
forceful, and actually she rejected a lot of students too because if it's not divine timing, this person doesn't have intention or can't really be awakened that time, she refunded. She said, I'm the worst business person because her intention here is not to earn money, because there's a lot of people doing business because of money.
Hmm.
Her wholeheartedly can, the intention is giving this love, truly help this person to awake. you know so that's one thing I learned from it. The other thing is that there's no forceful things in her community. People come and go, freedom. It's same as higher wisdom give every single soul free will. We all have our free will, and that's the true freedom that everyone. And but her community is growing, and I was thinking there's no really structural rules or guidelines there, like a lot of business or even religions. And then she like people come and go, but why is it still growing? You know what I mean? So they get me to thinking. So I understand now. So everything started to from the intention, the central part, also given everything a freedom. But of course, I think her system is a boundary. Like I mentioned, if someone is not suitable, she said maybe not now. Like, yeah, that's her system is a boundary. System is our boundary. The same
Mm-hmm.
as like I'll talk a little bit about our business. I used to be our team members. Some people can do well, some people constantly step on the boundary. So we got to create a system that I create actually award system to similar as their system to award a good behavior, like a good karma, and bear some consequences like bad karma, something like that. So I've created within our team to recognize and encourage good behavior
Hmm.
and to help them grow into a better person. And if they actually step on the boundary, we let them bear the consequences. And we found out this method is literally really can help someone to change and grow. And ultimately it's better for their own life. So I think to balancing the both compassion and boundary, it is our system in a way, applying to the entire life, every single aspect. The same as my relationship. I used to be in a relationship. I got enslaved, sabotaged. I didn't realize, because I didn't know how to protect myself. Now I can see, I can feel the intention from different. So I start to learn to protect myself. That's the lesson I've got to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my responsibility too, because I asked my spiritual mentor, you guys are there, why don't you help me? Just protect me. She said, oh, if there's a lawyer on the street, will he come to you? Let me help you. It's your own responsibility, okay? So, because responsibility, it is my life lesson. This all, examples here just to reflect whatever we experience in this world is reflecting our life lessons. We just need to find out what they are and learn from it, grow out of it. That's all that matters. That's what we're here for on this earth life school, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you find situations where, let's say that you have something that comes up as far as life lessons are concerned, and Do you ever stop to ask, what's the lesson I'm trying to learn from this?
Yeah, I ask a source.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ask a source. And
Mm.
then become once after the event, I practice as well. We practice communication, also practice um, reclaim,
Hmm.
because I'm not sure whether you during this life, even past life, because of protection issue, there's a lot of things of our energy has been taken away. Clarities, wisdom, anything could be taken away. By learning about reconnecting with the source, constantly take our own responsibility to protect, also reclaim our own things back, do help.
Okay.
I used to be very wishy-washy and I don't know, not clear. But after practice that, my clarity and wisdom gradually coming back. I got more and more clear. Yeah. I could become more sensitive and pick up
Okay.
quickly. It is like a skill for us to learn and practice, same as anything else. But it's based on our intention, whether we want to do it or not.
You're using a lot of words that that I'm totally with you 1,000%, Joanna. Intention. What is
Yeah.
your intention? I've been teaching Reiki for years and years and years, and energy work and things of
Wow.
that nature. And when I teach a workshop, I said, if you don't take anything else away from this workshop, and I don't care what it is, if it's Reiki, if it's massage, if it's becoming a hollow bone, whatever the case may be, what is your intention? There's so much power behind intention. And if you have the intention that you wish this to take place, that's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
power that you're giving out there, and there's a lot of energy that you're getting out there. So be ready for it to come back, and just be ready for the lesson that's going to come your way because you sent it out there. So now get
Yeah.
ready for it. It's all in a
Yeah.
good way. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Are there any thoughts that you want to share with our folks before we go? We've shared a lot. And
Yeah,
I see I
a
see
lot.
so many different podcasts that we could get out of this one, but
I know, I know. There are a couple of things that probably I will, because I made a note. You did mention something before about I started to naturally way things happen. I've learned about it because I learned about it since I differentiate the definition of expectation and hope. Because I
mm,
used to heavily rely on expectations, and my spiritual mentor said instead of that, have a hope. I said, what's the difference? At the time, I didn't know, and she said expectation is something like you want this to happen this way. If it doesn't happen this way, you're very frustrated, right? But hope is like you want it to happen this way. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. Ah, I said, oh, okay, all right. Because for me, probably that's the way they guide me is that I need to differentiate the definition, then I can know which path I choose. So since then, I started to really focus on the hope side. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. And a lot of things just magically, even if I didn't think about it, it happens. So that's the beauty of Lego expectation. Expectation is like in the unlimited possibility, we'll only pick that one point. If it's not that point, I'm not happy. But hope is like we believe our limited possibilities, and that's where the magic lies in.
mm,
So beautiful, so unexpected, surprise all the time, all the time. It's one thing. The other thing is about I think is about you mentioned about the self-love. Oh, about the self-love part. I used to be confused about self-love and selfish. I say if everything starts from myself, wouldn't that be selfish? And then she guided me again. She's selfish is something that you do. It's good for yourself only, but not good for others. Maybe it's literally it's not good for yourself, but you feel like it's good for yourself. However, it's not good for others. However, self-love is good for you, yourself, good for others, good for this world. It's like a win-win-win. Start from this ripple. So since then, I started to use this guideline to always check in whatever experience is that win for me, win for others, win for this world. And I started to really look within based on that as a guideline to do self-love. And since then, I found my boundary gets stronger. I used
mm,
to be angry with my kids, like, but I spoil them. No boundary. But now it's the other way around. I become calm and assertive. I'm very certain on my boundary, but I'm calming. So there's a lot of things here. I can't explain enough. That's why I got to be on podcast to share all these divine messages. Now you understand me because they changed my life so much.
So you've got on your website. I had it here. What's your website? Let's just do it that way.
Oh, my website. Okay. I have one website called operationsgenius.net. That's my business wise.
Hmm.
It's only for someone if you think that you're doing your business, you get drained out, you want more time and energy back, you connect me over there. But literally, as a soul, I love to connect with everyone. Like
Hmm.
we don't have to talk about business. If anything that we talk today actually make you feel like some feeling that is calling, whatever it is, you can
Hmm.
connect with me. We can have a chit chat. Who knows what's come out next? You may want to find out your submission, soul power, or whatever it is, or some blockage. Yeah.
So that is your one website. You don't have another website for this sort of thing. And there's a reason.
Uh, I don't. I'm actually building a website for my speaking side, but the
Hmm.
speaking is more about sharing all this leadership experience and divine messages, but it's on the go.
Okay.
So yeah, as I mentioned to you, a lot of people are, what's your call to action?
Yeah.
Connect with me. What's my call to action? I don't have call to action. A lot of people are surprised. Why you do your podcast? A lot of people doing that for business, I said, I just want to share the messages. That's it.
Yeah. So let's say that somebody's listened to this and they really like what you're sharing, but they really want to delve deeper. They want to understand a little bit more about Joanna and her journey. Would you suggest because I know if you scroll all the way down the bottom of the page, it has, contact me here. Is that something that they could do is just reach out that way and you might be able to help them out and give some direction?
Yeah, sure. For sure. Another thing is probably you can find me on a couple of channels. If you use LinkedIn, just put my name, Joanna Zhang. I believe I'll show up. If I'm not there in multiple, just put operations. I believe in the business world, that's me. And on the Facebook, if you put my name there, there should be an image with my face and with the Sphinx in Egypt, behind me,
Hmm.
because I originally went to Egypt. So that's my headshot, and that's me. You
Okay.
can connect me there as well. Just tell me what is it about, because I don't really connect with this, not strangers. Like if I don't know the background, I don't really connect that way straight away. But LinkedIn is okay. LinkedIn is a professional word. That's fine. But for Facebook, just tell me I've heard Kevin's podcast. I love to connect with you. Let's
Okay.
connect.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hmm.
So what does I always ask this question, but what does Joanna do to create a better life for herself?
Be the true self.
Simple.
Be fearlessly being ourselves.
Okay.
Mm.
You remind me of something a long time ago that I had an English teacher in school.
Mm.
This is all the way back in 10th grade. That's a while ago for me. And at the beginning of the 10th grade, he says that we have a theme for this entire year, and I'm going to let you think about it, and I want you to write a paper for me. And that is, what is reality? And
Mm.
everybody they're just racking their brains. And I mean, there was some of this stuff that was like, in 10th grade, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages is phenomenal. And the answer came back that he says this one is the correct answer. And it was like one page and one sentence. And he gave him an A plus. The answer to the question is, what is reality? What is real to you?
Mm.
You
That's
know,
so true.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
And what you just said is the short and sweet one. So say it again. What do you do to create a better life for yourself?
Fearlessly being your true self.
There you go. That's beautiful. That's wonderful.
Mm.
This has been wonderful, Joanna. I appreciate your insight and I appreciate the story and I appreciate the information that you're sharing. And it's so important that we go about doing this to create a better life for ourselves. Thanks so much for being on the program today.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, that's our show for this week. Thanks to Joanna Zhang for sharing her story of soul awakening and her transforming life that follows and continues to grow. There's a link in the show notes to connect with Joanna As always, a very special thanks as well to each one of you, dear listeners, for tuning into the program. Remember, if you are seeking insights, advice on how to create a better life for yourself, and if you'd like to dive in to self-care, self-development, experience some hypnotherapy, distant shamanic work, Reiki, drop me a line, kevin@towardabettelife.com, for a free discovery call. And in that call, we're going to discuss your goals, set some plans for achieving them, and move forward with your journey toward your own better life. You can also visit my website, towardabetterlife.com, for past episodes, blog entries, ways to enhance your spiritual journey, along with upcoming events. Please subscribe and follow Toward a Better Life through your favorite podcast platform. And do leave a review on Apple, Spotify, Overcast, wherever you download your podcast. And this helps to spread the word about the program and helps to create a better life for all of us. Always remember, if you'd like to share your own story, music, prose, if you want to be a guest, just write to me, Kevin@towardabetterlife.com. Until next week, enjoy your magical journey toward your own better life.